But at that point, do you remember we said it will not come into India? Because those global chains were really very mature and today they're saturated. So there was no question of those investments coming into our country. So we had a lot of hope. I had a lot of people who were talking to me about this. But I had a discussion with one of your colleagues, Aditya Sudhir Shetty, and he had told me that there is no way that you will get any investment in this country. Because China has invested extremely well across different parts of Asia, so they will now go through those investments that they have in those countries, and their value chains are very strong. We need to invest in human development. We are not investing. We need to have more good schools, municipal schools. All this needs to, if we have to compete in this world, it is this generation, the young generation, that needs to be looked at. And we do not have the time. Because in the next 10 years, America will be much, much more powerful than what it is today, because your population will be younger and ours will be growing older. So we do not have that kind of time that we had 5 years ago. Today the time in hand is very little. So it's all up to you how you fight this and make sure that India becomes competitive. MSMEs. Yeah, MSMEs are involved to a large extent in contract manufacturing, which is not visible to most people because they are not exporting directly. So when we did our conference on global value chains, we identified a lot of companies, a lot of MSMEs who were involved in the value chains but not directly. They were all indirectly part of the contract manufacturing. One way to make sure MSMEs get more exports, to get into more exports, is make them participate in international trade fairs. It's very, very important that they get into trade fairs, people meet them. It's only through networking and through information and through such kind of exhibitions that they will be able to identify business partners. Demonetization really hit the economy. The small, I'm not talking about the medium scale, but the micro and the small and the home industry was hit completely with demonetization. And this is not my thing, but every time I've gone for any conference or every time we have organized something, this is what has come from most women entrepreneurs. And that, at least they add at least 1 to 2% to the GDP, which is not really known. You know, it's a hidden growth of a country, and that has been hurt today. So they are not having that kind of purchasing power parity that they had earlier. It is a woman who had a lot of money. Today they do not have it because they lost a lot of money. And they do not want to invest anymore because they do not know what will happen again to them. So I've said most of it. I want India to have more educational institutions, particularly for those who find it difficult to educate their children, have more rural growth so that we have, do not have this kind of urban and extremely highly developed areas, smart cities, and very poor rural areas. This is what is going to hit our economy. Yes, the startups, I wish them all the best, and I do hope that we come out of this that we are gone into. We have gone into a rut. We have gone into this kind of feeling that we may come out of it, because I saw the number of hands that went up which said by 2020, how many of us will grow, and there were few, and how many of you thought that it will not really come out? Even those hands were very few. So there is, it's 50-50. So let's hope for the best, and beginning with 2020, it's the year of the rat. So I think the year of the rat brings a lot of luck. It is also the carrier of the god of success, Sri Ganesha. So let's hope and pray to him that bring our country to that glory that it had all these years ago, and make sure that we prosper and all of you do well in your businesses. And thank you very much for being with us today, Dr. Madhu, and for releasing this book and to explain the entire chain of value, global value chains to all of us. And thank you, Siddharth, thank you, Mr. Singh, thank you, Mr. Kalantri. Thank you, all of you. Please join us for a question.